Hello everyone, welcome back to another brand new video. And in today's video, we're going to be doing yet another anime Rizz tier list. This time on Jujutsu Kaisen, which just wrapped up Season 2. And I also just finished watching Season 2, so we're doing another Rizz tier list. This one's going to be exciting. Jujutsu Kaisen has a lot of characters that men and women alike simp for online. So this is going to be definitely an interesting tier list for sure. Yeah, we might have some hot takes here. I might get flamed in the comments from my takes here. It's going to be an interesting time. It's going to be a fun time. If you want to see more content like this, like and subscribe, and let's just hop right into this. So kicking things off at the top of the tier list with Unspoken Rizz. You don't have to try to Rizz. People are practically throwing themselves at you. You're a force when you walk in a room. Everyone notices you. Everyone wants you. You love to have Unspoken Rizz. Next up, after that, is the Rizz Lord tier. You definitely have to try to Rizz. People aren't throwing themselves at you, but you're really good at Rizzing. You can pretty much pull anyone you want. You just have to try to do it. Funny Rizz. You have Rizz for sure. You have to be funny about it. These might not be the most attractive people, so they have to rely on their comedy. They have to be funny, but they have Rizz. They can pull occasionally. These people aren't bad. Gets rizzed up. This is a tier for people who get rizzed up. People approach them and want to be with them, but this is more your quiet, shy types, and also your people that just don't really have any interest in being rizzed and would much rather have people pursue them. Scaring the hoes is self-explanatory. Your Rizz is so actively bad that you're scaring away the hoes, and you never want to do that. And finally, at the bottom, we have sexual harassment here. Your Rizz is even worse than scaring the hoes because the cops are being called. You're going to prison. Your Rizz is that atrocious. So, as you can see, this is a fat tier list if you see down at the bottom. We're going to be stopping at Kamo. There's 2 ghettos on this list. We only need 1 ghetto. We don't need to differentiate between Young Ghetto and JJK0 Ghetto, but, that's where we're stopping at, JJK0 Ghetto down at the bottom. So yeah, there's some characters in between there that are going to be weird to rank, but, we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. We're going to kick things off with the main character, Yuji Itadori, Rizz Lord. Now, during Season 1, probably would have put him in Funny Rizz. I didn't think he was a proven Rizzler, but kicking things off in Season 2, he's risen up an old classmate of his, and yeah, chicks wanted him, and he was good. He remembered her name. He rizzed her up, and I think that as a proven Rizzler, he can probably pull anyone he wants. Yuji's that guy. Megumi's interesting. He could definitely be scaring the hoes. He's the antisocial type, but I am going to give him the benefit of the doubt. I think if he tries to Rizz, he could definitely do it, and I think he's pretty good at it. So we're going to give Megumi the benefit of the doubt here. We're going to give him Rizz Lord status. If you disagree, let me know down below, but Nobara, weird one. I think gets rizzed up, and I just think that I don't see her really in any other tier here. She's definitely not scaring the hoes or sexual harassment, but I also don't think she's really trying to Rizz. I think that she's fine letting other people pursue her and getting rizzed up, so that's the way I see it. And then we got Satoru Gojo, the easiest person to place on this list. I mean, was it any question, folks? Unspoken Rizz. The amount of simps that this man has is unlike anything I have ever seen. Gojo can get anyone he wants. He's a Rizz Lord. He's the strongest. Gojo, he's got this tier on lock. Sukuna, interesting. It's the polar opposite of Gojo. He's evil. He's a genocidal cursed spirit. Yet, he also has Unspoken Rizz. Sukuna has simps, my friend, and he can definitely pull. He's also super strong. Women want him. I think he's got it. He's got it on lock. That brings us to Ghetto. Not Kenjaku, this is Ghetto. I think he's Rizz Lord, and that might be a hot take. I think a lot of people might be saying Ghetto is Unspoken Rizz. I don't think he's quite there. He has his simps, don't get me wrong. But I don't think women are throwing themselves at him, I think he has to try a bit. So he's definitely really good at Rizzing, though, and he could probably pull whoever he wants. But I don't think it's quite Unspoken Rizz territory. That's an elite level. And that brings us to Kenjaku, which is a really weird one. I think that Kenjaku with some other bodies might be scaring the hoes, maybe even teetering into sexual harassment, but with Gato's body, you're solid. You can Rizz, because you have quite the tool in Gato's body to Rizz with. So I think Kenjaku's got it down. As long as he doesn't try some weird shit, he should be in the clear. That brings us to Shoko, which might be our first hot take of the video, but I don't really think she has to try, folks. She's bad. I think she can definitely pull whoever she wants, honestly. She also doesn't, like, bring me as the type to, actively be rizzing on somebody, but I also don't think she gets rizzed up either. I think people are just throwing themselves at her. I think Shoko doesn't really have to try that much. Same with Nanami. This man also has quite the amount of simps in the female community, and yeah, I see it. He's a baddie himself as well. He definitely doesn't have to try at all. Women are throwing themselves at him, men too. So Nanami, he's got this on lock, easy. So that's already tying Full Metal Alchemist's Rizz tier list with the 4 unspoken Rizz. Spoiler alert, it might get beaten. That brings us to Utahime, who I think also gets rizzed up. She's another one. I don't think she's scaring the hoes or sexual harassment, obviously, but I also don't think she's really trying to rizz. And that really leaves her for gets rizzed up. And that leads us to Mei. Yeah, grooming your underage little brother, that's definitely sexual harassment. So that's where we're putting her there. And that brings us to Wee Wee. If there was a getting groomed by your hot older sister tier, he would definitely go there, but there's not, so we're going to put him in gets rizzed up. Haibara, I also think also gets rizzed up. He seems submissive to me, but I also don't know that much about him. He's in like 2 scenes. He's a weird character to rank on here. Don't read too much into it. Ino, definitely funny Rizz. He reminds me of like Connie from Attack on Titan. He's on the younger side. He's a goofball. He doesn't take things seriously. I think he definitely, he can Rizz. He has to be funny about it, though. He's not like elite level Rizzers like your Yujis and Megumis of the world. So that's where I put him. Ijichi gets rizzed up. He's actively getting rizzed up by Shoko. Yeah, another weird thing is getting rizzed up by unspoken Rizz people isn't like a knock. But I also think Ijichi is not doing any rizzing himself, so that leaves him there. Akari, weird one, not in that many scenes. I'm going to give her the benefit of the doubt, though. I think she pulls, but she has to be funny about it, though. I don't think she's like an elite level rizzer. That brings us to Goku Ganji. Terrifying to look at, honestly. I think he's scaring away the hoes. Those eyebrows are fucking terrifying. If you disagree, cool. But yeah, this man is scaring away the hoes. I would not want to be approached by that. And I also think that Masamichi Yaga is the same way. Yeah, he has a bunch of cursed corpses / dolls. That's his his technique. That's what he does. He builds cursed corpses and dolls. So that's kind of a terrifying hobby. I wouldn't want to be in a relationship with someone like that. But whatever floats your boat. If you're into that, then he can be in a different tier for you. But for me, scaring the hoes, that's where he's gonna have to go. That brings us to Yuki. Unspoken Rizz, absolutely. Just from the first question that she asks everyone, what woman is your type? You're locked in. Quite the forward first question that comes out of her mouth. She's definitely going to be grabbing a lot of people's attention off rip. That brings us to Kusakabe, who I actually think gets rizzed up. I actually put him in Rizz Lord at first, but I think that gets rizzed up is actually the correct place for him because we see throughout the Shibuya incident how lazy this man is. I don't think he's going out of his way to rizz up a woman that he finds attractive. He's just going to sit there and wait for it to come to him, so he gets rizzed up. That brings us to Toji, who also has a lot of simps. However, I am going to put him in scaring the hoes, and I know that might be a hot take. This man is absolutely shredded. However, he's also terrifying. And he's not terrifying in the way that Sukuna is. I don't think Toji can quite play it off. He also has a bit of a atrocious gambling addiction on top of that, and you don't want to really date someone with an atrocious gambling addiction. Toji is definitely one of those can't end on a loss people. So, on top of being terrifying, killing Riko, Gojo, and making Geto literally racist, he beat him in a fight so bad. And on top of having a crippling gambling addiction, Toji goes into scaring the hoes. That leads us to Yuta, who is a proven Rizz Lord. He has a spirit bound to him for life that he's basically married to a spirit. And he's rizzing on Maki, depending on the way you look at it, too. So this man dabbles in a bit of Rizz Lordness. That brings us to Maki, who I would also agree is a Rizz Lord. yeah, she can basically get what she wants. I don't think people are throwing themselves at her, even though I personally would. But I think she is a Rizz Lord for sure. That brings us to Inumaki. Yeah, buddy, it's not going well for you if Inumaki tries to Rizz because he can't speak. He can speak by saying salmon, kelp, and a bunch of other different foods. I don't know what it is exactly. I don't remember, but yeah, this dude is walking up to you and he's just spouting off different ingredients, and you're gonna walk away because dude's a weirdo. It's not his fault, but you know that was the cards that Inumaki was dealt, and it's tough. Same with Panda, who yeah, you don't. If a talking panda walks up to you, are you really going to let it try and Rizz you? No, you're gonna run away and be like, "What the fuck? A panda just talked to me." If he was rizzing on other pandas, he would definitely be in the funny Rizz tier, but we're treating it like he's rizzing humans. In that case, it's a big yikes for him. That brings us to Junpei. I'm pretty sure that's pretty self-explanatory. He gets rizzed up. He's definitely submissive, let's be real. He's definitely not trying to rizz anybody. He might be even scaring the hoes. Dude's a little edgy kid, but it is what it is. Brings us to Mahito. This is probably my hottest take of the video, as I know Mahito does not have a lot of fans right now after the Shibuya incident. But we're just going to leave it at that. I really don't think he has to try, honestly. Especially if he's rizzing other cursed spirits. I know we just established that he's rizzing humans, but, you know, let me cook here. If he's rizzing other cursed spirits, he's fine. He can also shapeshift into whatever he wants. You know, that might be interesting. Yeah, I really don't think Mahito has to try to rizz. I think he can. People are throwing themselves at him, honestly. People are just a hater because he may or may not have killed your favorite characters in the Shibuya incident. But you know what? Argue with me in the comments. But I really don't think Mahito has to try. This is just a personal thing. On your Rizz tier list, he can be in scaring the host. Sure, why not? But you know, this is where I see him. This is my vibe. And he's not like the other cursed spirits. They're absolutely terrifying to look at. As Jogo, Hanami, and Dagon, if those things walk up to you, what the fuck? Like, what is Jogo? Imagine that thing walking up to you. Not animation Jogo, but a real-life Jogo hunched over, like, 4-foot volcano man walking up to you. Like, you are running for the hills. He's not like Mahito, where he's a cute little human looking curse. No, Jogo, Hanami, and Dagon are absolutely terrifying to look at, and if those things approach you, it's wraps. Haruta gets rizzed up. Pretty self-explanatory as well. He definitely gives submissive vibes. And it's definitely not the Nanami pulling his hair scene that is giving me those impressions. It's other things. Don't worry about it. Choso has his simps as well. Could definitely be here. I am going to knock him down to Rizzlord, though. I think he does have to try at certain points, even though he does have his simps. I still do think he has to try to Rizz, though. But it shouldn't be that big of a problem for him. I think he's got it on lock. That brings us to Rico and Kuroi, which I would both put in gets rizzed up. Once again, these are people that I don't think are trying to do any rizzing, and their rizz isn't actively bad to warrant scaring the hoes and sexual harassment. So that kind of just leaves them and gets rizzed up. So there you go. Naoto, funny rizz. Yeah, women his age are going to like this guy. He's funny. He's ripped. Yeah, like this man, the one that you're looking at in the picture, he takes off his shirt in one of the episodes, and bro has like an 8-pack, so, you know, that's going to play with the ladies. So I think he definitely has to try. He has to try a little bit hard. He has funny rizz, but he can definitely pull it off. That brings us to Toto, who absolutely gets rizzed up. He literally has the idol girl, or whatever you call it. I'm not sure what the official wording is, but the girl that he goes to visit at the conventions, that he thinks he's in a relationship with, but he's not. The bro is Delulu. He absolutely gets rizzed up. My scaring the hoes, in my opinion, don't think she's doing, like, if people are walking up to her, she's scaring them away, and I think if she's walking up to people, she's scaring them away, honestly. She's a pretty terrifying individual, I'm not gonna lie. Mekamaru, surprisingly, you see this image, and you're like, this dude's scaring the hoes for sure. Actually a proven Rizz Lord. If you look like that in person, like you have that mech body, that terrifying mech body, and your human self is basically mutilated, wrapped in bandages, can't even be exposed to the sun, and you're missing limbs, and you still manage to Rizz up Miwa, that's impressive as hell. He deserves Rizz Lord status, and Miwa, as we just established, did get rizzed up by Mekamaru, which has to place her in the gets rizzed up tier. And then ending off the video with Momo and Kamo, who I am going to give the benefit of the doubt here and say that if they Rizz, they're probably decent at it. They're not like Rizz Lord status, but I think they can probably Rizz. They have to be funny about it, though. That's going to do it for our JJK tier list today. If you enjoyed, drop a like and subscribe. Comment down below if you think any of these takes are egregious. Let me know. I always would love to respond to comments. So, have a video on the Shibuya incident on the way. If you want to hear my thoughts on the Shibuya incident, stay tuned for that. And I'm recording this on the 30th. It's going up on the 31st probably. So if you're watching this in 2024, Happy New Year. Anyways, guys, thank you for watching and have a wonderful day.